All right, good morning, everybody. This is JRock, your host, and we are looking to make some money. Now, we got into some trades yesterday. We got into Euro NZD and Pound Australia. I got stopped out of both of those overnight, and I am now in the Pound Canada. So I just got into GBP CAD, and we're looking at the 5-minute chart right here. You can see where I just got in when I woke up and looked. I said, oh, yeah, this one's going up. 72.70, 72.74. So I'm in GBP Canada, and I'll do a chart analysis for you here so you can see what I think about that. And I took a pretty good hit last night with Euro NZD and Pound Australia because they pulled back past my, obviously, stop loss. Put your stop loss in if you got to go to bed, unless you hedge it, which means you put in an equal order for the opposite side. That means if you've got a 0.10 lot sell, then you do a 0.10 lot buy. It's that simple. So good morning to everybody and welcome. So Pound Canada, let's take a look at this real quick. And I'm actually going to detach that chart so you can see a bigger picture here. All right, let's go ahead and jump all the way out to the month time frame. And that is just beautiful. I mean, can't you see that's going up? Okay, there we go. Well, that's what that was all about. So here we have put a double bottom over here, and then we've come up, we found resistance at the 50. We went all the way to the upper Bollinger and pulled back. Well, let's do an enlarged chart right here. We zoomed in. So we're kind of on an uptrend right here, and we have hit resistance at the 50. This went all the way to the Bollinger, came down, and under the 10, we have come back. Under the 34. We have come back and we bounced right off of the 10. I mean, a perfect hit. I hope you can see that. Right there off of the 10, maybe just a tad under it, and we have started coming off the bottom. So that is the pound. And if you look way over here, we were almost at 85. All right, 1.85, and we've come all the way down to 1.72. Friend, that is 1,300 pips. That is a long way. 1,300 pips in the last 2 months. So let's go to the week time frame and let's see what we've got. Wow. So we hit a big exhaustion, and then we've come all the way down, non-stop drop. And we have bounced right off of the 34. We went just a tad under it, almost to 172 even. We're at 172.70 right now. It looks like we're going to come up off of the bottom right here, and we're going to push back up. Could we break down? Yes, absolutely. Anything's possible. But the pound index is close to a reversal. It's been on a hard drop, and you can see the pound against Canada has been on a hard drop. Now, if I scroll across here, you almost have a support level right here and a resistance level. So old resistance becomes new support. We've gone up, we've come back, and we've bounced off, and it happens to be right where that 10-period moving average is. Actually, that is the 34 on the week time frame. 34-period moving average on the week time frame. On the month, it was the 10 that we bounced off of. On the day time frame, check this out. This is what made me say, okay, we're going up. Let's zoom out a little bit. And we're almost to the 200-day moving average, but a lot of times it will not get too far away from your 5 and your 10. It's very rare it will get too far away. So we have your exhaustion drop right here. We have a big drop, and then we have a bounce that's coming. So we got a good bounce that we could get to about 1.74. That's 130 pips away from where we're at right now. Could we go down first? Yeah, we could come way down here. I doubt it. And let me just throw on the RSI just so you could see. All right, RSI is coming right off the bottom. So we have positive divergence that's taking place right now. So you see, you had a low here, and then we went up and dropped lower. So you have a low that went into oversold territory. When we bounced up and came back down, we have a higher low on the RSI, even though the lower low on the chart price point. So we're currently at 72.70, give or take. As I said, we could go up to 74, we could go beyond that. So this is a day time frame. We could start going all the way up. This could be the end of the drop. It could be just a little bump in the road where we just bump up and then we come back down. We're going to have to wait and see, but we'll tighten up our stop loss as we go. That is pound Canada, GBP-CAD, that I just entered and bought it off of the bottom right here. 12-hour. Obviously, we're going to have to break up through all of this, but you saw the day time frame. We have room to run up because of the big drop off. Let's go down to 4-hour. I'm going to zoom out here. So we are coming off of the bottom. Here we have a low and a lower low on the price point. Again, we have a low and a higher low on the RSI. And we are deep in oversold territory. And we are also at a price point support of 1.72, which is where we hit, which was resistance and support over here. 1 hour time frame. And we are coming off the bottom again over here, 1.72. We bounce and we should clear all of these moving averages. So it's looking good for a nice little rally off of the bottom. And this is catching up on your moving averages. So we're starting to see some signs of strengthening when you're coming up over here. Sitting on top of these moving averages, we just have to push and we'll find resistance at each of these moving averages and pull back a little bit. At some point, we're going to get a pop like we had a big drop like this. So we're going to get a pop. We haven't had it yet. We're only actually 72.20 was the low. We're at 72.70, which is 50 pips off the bottom. So we could get a good, let's see, 73.80 down to 72.90. So that's a 90 pip, and plus actually we went from 74.20. So that's a 130 pip drop. We could get one of those here pretty soon if the pound gets some action. Let's jump on over here to forexfactory.com and let's see what's happening on the news side. Scroll up here. Yep. Actually, if I could get this to cooperate here. All right. So actually, we've got employment change Canada at 7:30 a.m. So 2.5 hours, we have news coming out. Canada unemployment rate and employment change. That's big news coming out at 7:30. So a little over 2 hours that is coming out. I don't know what to expect, but I would expect this, that Canada may have some, it could be good news and we still go up. So they're saying the previous was 5.8%. The forecast is 5.8. The previous was 32,000 unemployment, and the forecast is only to be 17.8 thousand forecast. So their unemployment rate is expected to stay pretty steady, but their employment change is expected to be better. I'm thinking that's what they're saying. Employment change from 32. Oh, they're hiring that they've only hired 17,000, where last month they hired 32,000. So they're potentially going to have a drop in their employment hiring month over month is my guess. So that's why I would think that would send this flying up. So we'll put in a tight stop loss, but I'm pretty sure we're going to rally, and that's in 2 hours where we got news. 7:30. All right. So let's go on down to the 30-minute time frame. And again, you can see we're coming out of RSI oversold territory way down here earlier when it hit 72.20. Had a bounce right off the 30 line. So we're getting ready to start pushing. That'd be my guess. We're in a good setup for a push up. That's all I can say. a nice setup. All right. Most of the charts are saying we could go up. Could pull back just a little bit. We're at 172.68, but we're finding some level of support. Here we had a big drop and then consolidation all night, and then we had that drop off that went almost back to where we were. So that is a double bottom, even on the 30-minute time frame. Let's go look at the hour again. So there's your bottom over here and your double bottom coming off of the hour chart and then push back up. So I like my chances with this. I think we stand to do very well on this. And there's your 4-hour double bottom again. So even on the 4-hour time frame, you got a double bottom that has set in, and it's positive higher lows on the RSI. So we're looking good. Again, this is pound Canada, GBP, CAD. That's what we are in right now. That's what I'm in. Let's go to the 15-minute. So here you see your big candle breakaway, and then we pull back, catching up on these moving average. So it looks like it's a great spot that we are getting ready to push up. So you'd get in pretty good. I'm in it. Let's see. I'm in at 72.70 and 72.72 or 3. Yeah, 72.72 and 72.70. So that's what I'm in at. But look at that. That's a nice bull pennant pattern that's forming right there. Plus we've got your big run up, pull back, run up, breakaway. So starting to show some strength. I think we should be good. Pound Canada. All right. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I got into. And even the 5-minute time frame. I mean, you don't really need to go lower. You can already see what we're looking at. Yep. So showing some consolidation and strength right here, building up over the last 20 minutes, 45 minutes. Pound Canada. Yes, Brandon. Coming off of the bottom, it's looking real good. So I said we could go to 174. We could go beyond that. And again, we have news coming out. So I'll probably move my stop loss to 172.60. I'm sorry, 172.50 down here in the middle, so that if we drop off, this is getting closer to time. So I'm going to wait to see what it does closer to time. If by an hour, 2 hours, we should be pretty far up, at least 50 pips up. Hopefully it doesn't channel in this area that long. But if it does, we just have to wait. So we still have support right here on these moving averages, 72.60. But everything is looking good. Any questions? All right. Well, I'll go ahead and look at pound AUD while we're waiting on this. We're going to see. So here's where we picked it up over here on the move up in this area, and then it dropped off overnight, and it stopped me out somewhere over here, and then it's been chopping. This is the pound AUD, so it looks like it could come off the bottom as well, because obviously it's a pound pair, and if I think in the pound is going to go up, have a nice bounce up, well, it just went further down last night or during the day for you if you're on the other side of the world. But as you can see, we are potentially putting in a bottom on the pound. Could we fall further here? Yes, we could, but the potential for it to rally is still pretty good. Yes, I'm saying the pound is coming off of the bottom. So on the day time frame for the pound AUD, see we came a little bit lower, but we have a double bottom that's setting in, even though we wicked a little bit lower to 79, 1.79. So on the day time frame, we have room to come up to get close to these moving averages. So that's 180.50, give or take. Let's go to the week time frame. We still have room to fall on the week. We could come down here to 1.7822 on the week. But if you look across where we're at, we are right at resistance levels across this. So 179 seems to be a solid resistance level that has become new support. So we could go up from here. We could gap up next week and push on the month time frame. We are coming right off of the 5-period moving average. So we could settle, hold right here, and then push back up for the month and go all the way back up to 82.50, or man, just push all the way through. We still got 3 weeks left in the month of May. Could we come down further, break down to the 10? Yep. The 10 is sitting at 75.51. That'd be 400 pips down. That'd be a pretty good drop if the pound does break down. So that's why we'll keep a tight stop loss over here in case the news for Canada sends it tumbling. The pound pairs would have to tumble in unison. So that's what we'll wait on. On the 15-minute, this still has resistance overhead compared to the 15-minute over here. Let's see, pound against Canada. All right. So you see you have clear skies over here. Pound against Canada, it is picking up on these moving averages. Looks like it wants to curl on back up. Even though we're having a little bit more of a pullback right now, it's still okay. It's just setting up, in my opinion. So we're above the 5, the 10, the 20, the 34, and the 50 is right here on the 30-minute time frame. Over here, we're above the 5, 10, and 20, and we've got the intermediate and major moving averages on the 1 hour to break through. And then once we break through and start pushing up, it could be a nice trend, or we could just have a pop to 174 right here and then back down. We're just going to have to wait and see. Yep, CAD Jappy has news coming out in a little bit. Euro NZD, I said that had a pullback overnight. We could still bounce from here. It stopped me out. All right. Euro NZD came further down to 170.70. Let's see where it went. Yep. So it came down to 170.70. It stopped me out overnight when it fell, and it's still pulling back. It didn't set up and hold the moving averages on the 1 hour, 4 hour. It dropped further, and so just having to wait that one out. Now, let me see what's going on here real quick with pound Canada, because I may want to get in again. Just give me 1 second here. Just watching this for a moment. All right. So I'm just adding to my position, getting in a little bit lower. And then when it bounces back up, I'll close the higher position once I get a little bit into profit there. So I deleverage myself just a little bit. That is that it goes up. So I got in again at 172.55. So that candle has come down a little bit further uh, than the previous candle. But the body, I doubt the body will stay that low. That's on the 30-minute time frame. Same thing here. We're putting in higher lows on each candle on the hour time frame and higher highs, but we've got a top that's formed like a resistance level. So once we break through that, we should be good. All right. So that pullback was just a little pullback here, nothing major. All right. So Euro NZD, back to that. Then I'll do the other ones here in a moment. So Euro NZD has been in a slight trail off. We had the gap up in the run, slight trail off. At some point, it's going to pop to the next level because of that gap up. Again, you go out to your longer time frames and you look to get an idea. Month time frame says we're going up. The week time frame, it's all pattern bull flag pattern says we're going up. You see that beautiful sit right there. We just got a pop. So we just pulled back a little further last night than expected. It still looks good to go up. On the day time frame, we pulled all the way back almost to the 10. Let's see where the 10 is sitting. 172.60. We pulled back to 172.70. So 10 pips off of the 10. So we're in a good spot on Euro NZD, 170.97. So we're about 27 pips above where the bottom hit earlier. I think we go up on the day. We go up to 72 or beyond on the day. So that's Euro NZD. Still looks good. Let me go to the 4-hour. Oh, yeah. Eventually, we're going to break. So we're kind of holding the 100. Moving averages are starting to come up again, curve up. After that big run, we've come back. So we had a lot of moving average divergence. Now we're starting to have a little convergence where the moving averages come together. And then we are going to break out and they'll all kind of follow trend and get under, like over here. They'll get in an upward movement under the moving price point candles, and we go up on those and hold them. So still have some overhead resistance. Here's the 1-hour. We're kind of finding support on the 50. Yeah, could be good to hold that. And all this has to do is push up through here. Pound Canada looking pretty good. Okay. 30-minute time frame, still very slow movement, but we've got support on the 100. So we have to push up to get back on top to show strength. We get back above 71.10, we're going to be in good shape. Great shape. So that's Euro NZD. While I'm at it, let's just do Euro USD. Look at that pop. That's good. And I'm going to deleverage once we get into profit. I'm going to deleverage because I'm pushing my margin limit here and definitely over here kind of low on my free margin. So I'm going to not be greedy, make it a habit and get out. Okay, this is Euro USD coming off of the bottom. So it looks like the US dollar is still taking a little bit of a hit. So it looks like it has some room to run. Oop. Let's go to the daily. We're at resistance at the 10 on the daily. I mean, smack dab at resistance. We're at 191.41, 191, 190, 119.45. We're at 119.41. We are right at resistance at the 10. We'd have to break through that. Man, I think this might be the end of the run against the US dollar. We're pretty close. If we break up and go above it, then we would go to 1.2 on the day, but I doubt it. It depends. I think the US dollar has got strength still. So the end of the US dollar's fall may be right at our doorstep. I think we could be really close. And there we go. Nice pop. Boop. GBP CAD. So all green, almost all green over here. There we go. Again, I'm going to deleverage once we get past that point. Break off whatever I put in them. So I got a 3 on this side down here and then a 10. So I'll deleverage my 7 over here. Close that in profit. Won't be greedy. So I got in at a lower price point. That's why you don't over leverage, so you can get in lower when you're ready. But I'm going to let it run a little bit and then I'm going to close that because I'm pretty confident. All right, Euro USD is at 119.43.7. I think we're real close. Let's look at USD CHF, hour time frame. Same thing. We have come way down. We're right at the Bollinger Band here. We're almost to oversold territory on the 30 on the RSI. I think we get a bounce like this. Boop. And we're going to get a bounce. US dollar might be at the end. That's a double bottom on the 1 hour chart. US dollar might be turning around. They're still saying sell. People are holding sells on this one. They think it's going to go down further. H4. H4 just surpassed the 50, but I think it's not where we wick, it's where we close. So I think we might pull back up. You know, you could wait. We're at 99.98, which I said we'd had strong support dollar for dollar on USD at 1.0 CHF, USD CHF. So this could be, you know, this was strong resistance. We popped through it. Support, support, support. And I think we got support. So I think that's the end. The US should rally. Again, confirmation, just wait for it. You could put in a buy stop if you want at 140. So that'd be 40 pips up, a buy stop, because if it breaks above that, it's probably going to keep going. Saw gold a little bit. I'll look at that in a bit. I haven't done that yet. I saw it at 1324. Stop loss on GCAD? None, because it's going to go straight up. No, I'm kidding. I really think it is. I mean, whoop, look at that. Try to fake us out. Drop it down 20, 25 pips. So they were up here at 78 over here. And they dropped it all the way down almost to 50. And so I added 2 positions down here when it dropped. They're not going to play homie like that. So really and truly, when the news comes out in 2 hours, we're going to see where it's at. And we're going to tighten up our stop loss in case it tumbles. I think it runs, but I'm going to give up quite a bit of wiggle room in case it shakes and bakes where it drops 30 and then rallies 100. But the tendency has been on employment numbers where it will just go in one direction. It may shake 5 or 10 one way and then shoot the other direction where it does not fall off. Let's just say like NFP, non-farm payroll will drop 50 to 100 and then shoot 200 the other direction and then come back 200 the other way. That's non-farm payroll does that. Employment doesn't normally do that. If it's sitting right here and it's good, it may bump 5 or 10 and then whoop. Sorry, it may drop 5 or 10 if it's good for them and then shoot up 100. If it's bad, it may jump 5 or 10 up the other way and then drop 100 because it normally goes strong in the direction of the results. So because GBP CAD is coming off the bottom, I believe we have a strong possibility to rally. Even if the news for Canada is decent, this is still going to shoot up because y'all have seen that before. You say, well, dang, US dollar news was bad and the thing shot up. Yeah, it was time. It had run its course. It had come way down. All right, so still pulling back. Let's take a look real quick at Euro USD. It shot up just a little bit more. We're at 119.46. It doesn't matter where it wicks, it's where it closes. But again, it just depends. Nice little movement over here. It just depends on the US dollar. I could be wrong that it's at its turning point, but I think with everything going on, it's just taking a little breather, but it's at the breathing point where it's ready to turn back. And this looks like it's getting ready to form H top. So this is H1 where we've gone up, hit a top, come back, traded sideways, drop, and run up. And that'll be a double top or an H top. And we should, whoop, drop down. Again, we're at resistance. I think that's my speculation. You do what you want to do. But if anything, I would be a seller of Euro USD and a buyer of the US dollar at this point. Gold. Gold is going to rally as long. We did say 1325. I said that earlier in the week that we could run up to 1325. That'd be a good point. Let's go ahead and see. Why did I say that? All right. Up 3,500 on this one and up 1,800 on this one. I gave up some last night, though, on that drop. Man, oh, man. Let me see that history. Last night. Yep. It stopped me out 1712 and 800. So call it 1, 2, 3, 4. Call it 4,000. I got hit on that one. So I'm only up 1,800. So I got to make back four grand for last night's problem. But I still did pretty good. And over here, that's the big one. I got hit 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,000. So I dropped 9,000 last night. Went too heavy and I just got stopped out on the Euro NZD pullback and GA continued pullback. You know, it's okay. I'll make it back today. Probably gonna make it back right now. So I said 4 over here and 9 over here. So I'm up 4 and 2. So I'm halfway there. All these things need to do is jump a little bit. Halfway there from my drop last night. We'll be good. And gold, let's see, gold. That's what we're doing. So gold is pushing, coming down. This is the week time frame. We've come down and we pushed up. We're almost in this resistance area of these moving averages. You know, it looks like we could have had a double bottom right here starting to pick up, but it looks very bearish, like it's going to continue to drop off. Let me go to the month time frame. Month, we're right at the 50 resistance. I think we come back here 1277. I'm still going to say 1280. We're going to drop off. We might be at the peak 1325. I'd be a seller, but that's just me. You do what you want. Yep, look at that. Come down. We broke down below the 100. We picked all the way back up. Now we're hitting the underside. Old support becomes new resistance. And moving averages are all overhead. We are going to drop off. We're going to come back sub 1300. I'd be a seller of gold. But, you know, I may just do that anyway. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to free up some margin here in a minute. Let's see what I can get into. Let me see. 30 on a sell. I'm going to do Let's see what that'll do for me. 2,600 sell on gold. Boom. All right, I sold gold. Let me see, where's gold over here? And I'm gonna do 300. No, that's too much. I'll do 200. Yep, 5,000 margin. Whoop. Sold gold. So I'm a gold seller. All right, there you go. I like my chances on that. I'm going to keep that. Let's go over here. So we're just kind of setting up over here, looking like we're going to trade sideways and pop again. 2 hours till news on that. And again, I don't need to see any more on gold or euro, USD or USD CHF to say that they're all at a peak and they're going to reverse. I don't need to see any more, but I'm just going to look at it anyway. So nice little channel up on the 1 hour. I believe we're at resistance. And you keep going up. Don't look at what we're doing over here. Thank you. I'll get the people after you. Let's see. So 30-minute time frame. We still have, it's still holding that channel support at 5. But again, I think we're right at resistance, all your moving averages. So we should drop off pretty good here. All right. And then once we get up a little bit here, I'm going to deleverage again, like I said, break off a little piece so that I'm not in too deep. And I may just do what I'm going to do here, move my stop loss up just to lock that in case that gets a wild hair and decides to come back on me. So I'm going to put that right there, lock that in. That's the one that I'm going to keep at the bottom. So I have 10 down here, and I'm going to let go of my 10 here if it drops on me. But I'm going to let it run. Why not over here? Let's see. Where is GBCAD? All right, GBCAD. So I picked up a 3 down here. Let's see, where you at? So 5. I'm gonna alleviate the 5 right here. I can get that line. There we go. So I'm gonna keep that 172.84, 172.81, 6. So I'm gonna keep that on the 1 minute time frame. It looks like it's holding that 5. So I'm just gonna keep moving it up a little bit. Well, where'd you go? Keep that right under that 10, because if it drops and hits the 10, oh, stop loss. That's why I'm putting a take profit. Goofball. So if it drops below that, it'll stop me out. Same thing over here. Let me do that 1 minute time frame. And I'm going to do that. Yeah. So if it drops below that, it'll take me out. I'm good with that. If not, it'll keep running. But it's showing some good strength on that 1 minute time frame. It's not where it wicks, it's where the candle closes. So why give up? If it's going to keep running, why give up more profit or put it too tight that you lock it out? That's why I say moving averages are pretty strong. So there we go. I'm going to move that up just a little bit more. If it falls below that 10, then I'm going to be out of that, and I'll be all right. I'll have deleveraged. So what's gold doing? Can anybody see what gold is doing? I can't tell. My computer screen locked up. Is it making money? Are we in the money? I don't know. What's it doing? Anybody? Help me out here. I'm blind. I'm trading blind. And I'm joking. Gold is up. Gold is running up. Oh no. Maybe, should I double down? Triple down. let's see. Anthony, I put the 10 pip stop loss. No, on the GCAD, I am just moving it up under the 10 on the 1 minute time frame. So I'm locking in that profit in case it decides to fall. I keep it just a little bit right under the 10 you see over here. So I keep it right under the 10 here. We're getting a little pop. So I'm going to move it up a little bit higher. So now we're getting a little bit breakaway. This is just the stop loss for getting out of deleveraging my position. So I'm going to bring it up right at resistance over here. And that's all I'm doing. I'm deleveraging because I got in lower. So I'm bringing it up right there. So if it comes all the way back, no worries. I could keep it down here, but we're getting a nice little pop. So we should trade sideways and pop again on the next 1 minute. I might be a little too tight here. And actually, I'm going to drop that down just a little bit. I don't think it'll come back that far. But right there, 172.87. Yeah. So all I'm doing, because when I got in a little too early and it came way down, so I added to my position. Well, when it started running, I'm going to close out the higher position. I don't want to be over leveraged and be greedy. If you set a good precedent for yourself and you trade with proper risk management, then you will be successful. But if you stay greedy and over leverage, you're going to blow your account time after time. So I was going to deleverage. So down here, so I got a 10 and a 7 over here. And then when it came way down, I added a 10. So I said, when it comes up, which I was strongly believing it would, if it didn't, I'd be in trouble. And I just have to cut my losses. If it did, I said, I will cut my 10 that's up here because I got a 10 way down here. But why cut it off right as I get to it if it's going to keep running? So that's where I just bring my stop loss up. I let the profit run. I keep making money with that until it's time to deleverage on that bad boy. So there we go. Boom. I'm going to bring it up now to keep it under the 5. Keep it right under that 5 right there. So we had a pretty good pop. So the strength is definitely on the side of the pound against Canada. I know y'all got others you want me to look at. Okay. There we go again. So once the next 1 minute candle forms, I'll just keep moving it up. You see I'm already locking in 700 profit on this one. I'm going to move it just a little bit. So that's going to be 800. Boom. Move that up. And I've locked in 1,600 on profit on here. So I said I took a $9,000 hit overnight when I got stopped out. Here we're at 6,500. I'm about 2,500 off break even. Here was 4,000. I'm about 500 off break even here. And as this continues to run, I will be A-okay. And then I'll start making the money back last night. I'm still really good. So the account has doubled in the last week, that account. And here we were at 55,000 yesterday. We're back to 53. And really and truly, I'm only about 2,000 off break even. But why I cut my profits short? I tell you time and time again, people love to cut their profits short and let their losses run. You just want to grab 5 or 10 pips. That's okay for starter strategy, but then you got to learn the advanced strategy, catch your moving averages, and you want to let it ride and run with those pips. Let it run. Just keep moving your stop loss up into profit. So it looks like I got stopped out over here. I didn't get stopped out over here. I was a little too tight on that one. That's okay. No worries. Yes. And I might be a little too tight here. I'm right at that 5. But if it does come down, so I'm good on this account. I'm not going to add back because I missed it. I could, but you got to learn not to be greedy. Just take what you can get so you don't get in trouble. It says we're in the 70 overbought territory over here. We're above it on the 1 minute. The 1 minute RSI is not always going to be your best friend. So it will also look at the 5. We're getting in that channel. Boom. So I could keep my, I could go to the 5 now. And let's see. We're still pushing up. So I'm a little too tight in that range. So the next one is going to come up here. I'm going to leave my stop loss for this right here. I'm going to let it come up, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to move all of these stop losses up into that area, because where are we at? Give me some stop losses here. If it drops back hard, I'm going to make sure that I'm protected, because it can do that sometimes. So I'm putting it on the 5-minute time frame right under the 5-period moving average, because it's holding that channel, and I'll keep moving it up as we go. I know we got news in 2 hours, but I'm just here to make a little bit of money, honey, and call it a day. So I got all the stop losses, nice little rally going there. Y'all should be in the money. Let's see. I move those other stop losses. Let's see. GCAD 5. I only got a 5, a 10, and a 7. There was a 7 down there. Trying to figure out what I did here. I put that up here. I'm going to put that up there just for a minute so I can kind of clear this out. There we go. Okay. So I'm not setting a take profit. I just had to clear that out so I could get to my stop loss order. So every one of my GCAD, right now I should have a stop loss over here. So you see my stop loss, gold is the only thing I don't have a stop loss on. I don't have a take profit. I just move my stop losses up into profit as we go. Okay. So I have this one a little bit tighter. That's that other stop loss. I'm actually going to move it down just for a minute. We've got 2 minutes till that next one forms. So I'm going to keep it right there because it's going to stay in that 5 channel, that 5 moving average on the 5-minute time frame. It's going to stay in that until it breaks, and I'm going to just keep moving the one I want to break off. So I've got 2 5s. Let's see symbol. Let me get that. There we go. And I'm going to get back to your other ones in a minute. We're just making money together. Is that all right? All right. So history. So I closed that one out 848. That got stopped out. I had a little too tight. It's okay. I could have let it run a little bit more. I could get back in, but I'm okay. I don't need to kill it. If you try to kill it, you're going to get killed. Just take your time, make some money, be happy, compound your money slowly over time, use proper risk management, and you will be just fine. You're going to have bad days, but if you have enough in the tank, you're going to live to play again. If you go too heavy, trust JRock, I'm telling you. I've been there where I've knocked my head off time after time from going too heavy. I've made a lot of money. I've taken $1,000 or $3,000 to over $50,000 5 times in the last 3 months. But I was over leveraging, high risk. I was using bonus match and 1 to 1,000 leverage and just going for it. It's not something you want to do. The way I did it, I'd have 10,000 on my landing account. I'd put 1,000 in the account. It'd have 2,000 matching bonus, and then it'd have 1 to 1,000 leverage. So that's like 10. So I would have 20,000 to play with on a $1,000 account. That's how you can over leverage, and I would do 5 lots on a $1,000 account. But if I nailed it right at the bottom when it dropped and I got in a 5 lot right here, boom, I'd be up 10 grand in no time. And then over the course of the day, I'd keep stacking. I'd add another 5 lot, and then another 5 lot, and then it'd keep going. I'd add another 5 lot. I'd just keep adding. All right, so here we are. We're still holding that channel. I'm gonna move my stop losses up. Let me zoom in so we can see what we're doing. I'm moving all my stop losses up to keep right under that 5. So in case that drop comes, it's not gonna catch me. And they could drop it real quick, boom, drop, and then go. So I'm at 72.90, 72.91, give or take. All my stop losses there. So let's move these stop losses up right there, 72.90. almost a 91. Is that it? I only got 2 over here. Yep. So 72.91 is where I have my stop loss roughly. 93. Got that one a little too low. I like to capture those basis points. All right. So a micro pip is the last number. This is a small number. Over here is the 5th number, the 1,000th of a penny, and that is 1 basis point. 10 basis points to equal a pip. A pip is 1/100th of a penny, and that is where you make your money based on your lot size. So if you have a .01 lot size, which is the smallest you can get, it is 10 cents per 100th of a penny move. That's how you make your money. If you do a .10 lot size, it is going to be $1. You just move your decimal place 1 to the right on your lot size, and that tells you the actual dollar value of your trade. Okay. And if you do a 1.0, that is $10 per pip. So be careful. All right. Peter, you gonna dance? Oh man. You need to say, when you dance, you need to say thank you, JRock, so I can post that on YouTube for making you money today. You're so excited. I'm gonna send that to a couple other guys. Like, I don't know if you saw my video in Las Vegas when the guys we came outside after the meeting. It was at night, and they were all wanting to go out, and they had this limo parked there, and the couple of the chairmen, they were like, "Hey, there's JRock," and they said, "Oh man, JRock, here's my phone," and it was Saturday, I think. They said, "I got Bitcoin, $1,000 on this account right now. Let's see, show us how to make the money." So I looked at it, analyzed it. I said, "Oh yeah, we're going up." So I entered a trade on Bitcoin, and in 45 seconds, we were up $300. They're like, "Oh my God, you're coming with us. Get in our limo." And they dragged me into the limo. And so you had a real estate developer in there and a couple other people that had made a lot of money in real estate and business. And so they were saying they never seen anything like it, the kind of money you can make if you learn how to read the charts, that it was 30% they made on their money in 45 seconds. Blew their mind because they worked their butt off all year to make 6% for the year on real estate, etc. So it looks like we may get stopped out. If it drops below that, I'll be okay. Stop me all out. Boom, I'm all out. All right, let's see. So if that comes all the way back down here, I'll get back in. If it decides to run again, I'm okay too. So let's just see how we did. And let's see on the day. What is today? Oh, well, I really can't see because that would combine everything else. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4,500. Is that right? 4,500. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 45, 4,600. Not bad. And over here, let's see, that just those 3. So 1, 2, about 2,800. Not bad. So 2,800, 4,500, I'm gonna let that come back and I'm gonna get in again. So when it comes back here, we are going to get in. Again, we have news coming up in an hour and a half, so we don't want to be presumptive, but I think it's going to run. We're going to put in some buy stops when we figure out where we're at. But let it come back, let it cool off a little bit, and it may come back to 72.70. If it comes back again, hey baby, we're going to get back in, we're going to make some more. Do not do a sell right here because the strength is to the upside. So the likelihood of it turning and rallying at any moment is very strong. So make sure you trade properly. Sell stop idea on, well, let me get back over here. Position. I don't know. I can't, my screen locked up again. Can anybody see what gold is doing? Huh? That's your sell stop idea. Anybody know? I think I need to go and get my eyes checked. UJ overbought. No, I think the US dollar is going to rally. That's why I shorted gold. And over here, I'm good. I don't need to worry about it. I see it's pushing back up. I don't need fear of missing out. Oh, it's going back up. Man, wait. Let that thing come back down. You'll be okay. Overbought on UJ? No, it would be oversold on UJ. Coming down, let's see. 1 hour time frame. I don't play the pound. I'm sorry, I don't play the Japanese pairs. Anything connected to JPY, I stay away from it. It's bipolar. Leave it alone. That's my recommendation to myself. Whatever you want to do is your business. Okay. CAD Jappy, Euro CAD. I got to get to those for you because you asked me. Let's see. I don't think I have either of those on here. So we're getting on the 5-minute time frame, lower highs on the candle, lower lows. So I'm going to let that come on down back to 72.80. We're at 93. Before I get in, I could do a buy stop and put it right up here if we run. Let's just do that. I'm going to grab and drop my buy stop right here. So I'm going to say, all right, if you run back up there, then fill my order. So that's going to be at, what are we at? 73.02. So that's a buy stop at 73.02. Let me do that over here on GCAD. Buy stop 73.02. Yep. So if it runs back up, it's going to fill me. Take that and run through. And if it comes down lower, if it fills me and then drops back, I'm going to double down. But I think if it pops, it'll keep going. So that's your buy stop idea. All right. And we'll see it pop down here if it fills. EuroCAD. EuroCAD looks like it's coming off the bottom also, the hour time frame. That's a good buy. I'm playing Pound CAD, so I don't need to play EuroCAD. But they both look like they're coming off of the bottom, and that's because Canada has been probably overbought on the index. And I firmly believe that it is going to pairs against the currencies against the Canadian dollar are going to rally. And we have Canadian news coming up in a little over an hour. So I'd be careful. We're going to do buy stops when that comes out. All right, so we just filled on the buy stop. Did a light fill. I was in at 27 earlier, so I just did a 5 here. So, my risk tolerance, I'd go up to 15 lot on the purchase, but I'm just going to let it ride, make a little bit of money. No need to kill it. So EuroCAD is going to do the same thing GCAD is doing. Come off the bottom. Canadian news coming in a little bit. All right. Euro to the CHF. Somebody asked that earlier. Oh, that's ugly. Coming down. I don't even need moving averages to see that. But it may bounce. Let's go to the daytime frame. We could be at a bounce point. Yeah, see, we went up to resistance on the 20. Now we got support at the 5. So we've gone up. We pulled back, bounced off of the 34, bounced up into resistance. We could come back and channel in this area before breaking out again. So it looks like it's coming down on the lower time frames, higher time frames. Let's see. Yeah, see, this looks good for a rally up. So on the GCAD, let me go back to that. Where are you at? So I'm going to add, I'm convinced, just looking at that setup, that it is going to go up. So I'm going to add to it another 5 because of the setup that it's got right here, just a little pullback further than I wanted. And then here's your 5-period moving average. So that's almost like a pennant pattern. Again, I didn't go too heavy. I could do another 10 lot. So if it comes down here to 70, I will double down. I'll do a 10 lot, or just double my position. Sorry, I talk in lot sizes. I should say 0.05 and 0.10. Yes. So I did a 0.05 and a 0.05. So if it comes down, I will do a 1.0 down here. There you go. So that's still setting up pretty good. It's not often I see a big drop. When I see this kind of setup, it just ramps up like it's building up pressure. Okay, Euro CHF. Yeah, see, it came down almost to the 10. This looks like it wants to go up. So if the euro rallies, and I said the euro is going to rally against Canada, the euro could rally against the CHF as well. We could have already found a bottom and be ready to go up. So we pulled up, came back, dropped, and we could be ready to go up again. That's on the week time frame. So I'm pretty darn convinced of that. Oh yeah. So I changed my opinion on Euro CHF. I believe this is going to go up, even though it's coming down on the lower time frames. It's holding support, broke above the 100. Holding support, sky's the limit. I remember calling this when I did the analysis yesterday. So let's go to a lower time frame and see. Okay. We're right at the 100 and 200 crossover. So it may come down just a tad, and we're at the lower Bollinger. I don't see much more downside. You could go lightly. If it drops a little more, then get in, but I think this is a great entry on the time frame. On a 15-minute, let's see. Yeah, we're right at the 200 on the 15-minute. Again, like I said, you could come just a tad lower. They like to do that. You could even come down here just a stop out, a stop hunt. Boop, they stop everybody, and boom, they take it back up and rally it. And you're sitting on the sidelines because you took a loss and you're scared to get back in. All right. That's that. So Euro CHF, Euro CAD, CAD JAPI is probably going to fall because Canadian is coming back down. It's been in a nice run, and it's going to start relenting, which means pulling back, dropping off. Y'all making any money over here on GCAD and XU? Hey, Peter, just make sure when you do your dance, don't say anything about you love me or anything. Don't be drawing hearts or blowing kisses, okay? If you're going to do a video, just keep it simple. I don't want anybody to think anything, all right? I'm a man's man, but I got to keep it real. Just kidding, man. Y'all ought to see Peter's video he made for me yesterday. It was hilarious. He did the happy dance. So yeah, he doubled his account. So he was pretty happy. Great recruiting tool when you got somebody to live trade with you and you make money in live action. You can, people are going to come on board. They're going to say, what? I want a piece of that action. Come on, man. Let's get it. And I think I answered your question, Brandon. I'm back in. I did GA, yes, Kelly. And I said that it should go up also. It came down and stopped me out overnight. I jumped over onto GCAD. I think CAD news is coming out in a little bit, in about an hour, and it's going to do really, I think it's been down 1,300 pips in the last month and a half. So I think we're due for a nice big run. So when the news comes out, this thing could rally 100 pips. And we're showing strength off the bottom right now in preparation for that. So I've already made about, 45 and 3, made about $8,000 in the last 40 minutes, 30 minutes coming off of the bottom. So we're about to make some more money as this thing continues to go. I will, I'm not too heavy. I got plenty of margin. I got 35,000 to work with here, 15,000. So I got 75% of my account available on the sidelines. So if it does pull back hard, I'm going to get in again. I'm going to double down. because I know this is going to go up. I don't know. I'm pretty confident. Let's just put it that way. I have 90% belief that it's going to go up. All right. Anybody know what gold's doing? My screen shut off again. You know I'm kidding, right? I know what gold's doing. Gold's right there. 120 and 72. Euro GBP. I'll look at that again. GA said it was going to go up. Okay, unstoppable. I see what you're saying. Stopped us out. Yep, it happens. And I told you UCAD should turn around. Canadian dollar. So the US dollar is turning around. Obviously, you see I got into a sell almost at the top on gold. And so UCAD also should do well because Canadian news is coming out in a little over an hour. Euro USD should drop again. Let's just take a look. Euro USD. One more time. I looked at it a minute ago. Revisit it. So it should pull back. We hit that H top. So this is an H pattern on the 1 hour time frame where you go up, come back down, and then you trade sideways, and then you drop and go back up. Or in the opposite manner, if you come down. You know, if we were to come down here and drop up, trade sideways, drop down, and then boom, that'd be an H bottom on the candle pattern. So that is an H setup. So this thing whoop, should come down, form that H, and then drop off. And that would be consistent with me believing the US dollar is going to turn and go back up. We're in a little pullback right now. You know, it could turn and go, but I don't really think it will. I think we're at the end of the US dollar's correction. All right, and this is okay over here, no worries. Again, when you start getting into a trend, the 30-minute and the hour are my go-to time frames. So here, all this consolidation, fake out, got back up here. Here's the breakaway. So we're going to trade sideways, let the 5 catch up to the candles. So we're going to trend, and then we're going to keep popping in that trend all the way up. So let's see, like over here, beautiful, prime example. Let's look at this. I'm going to take the RSI off of here. All right. And then squeeze that. So here you had your bottom. Well, it came down and then it faked people out right here. Went up and then boom, dropped back down and then got in that channel. Broke down below the 100 on the 30-minute time frame, got in this channel and held between the 5 and the lower Bollinger Band all the way down until it bounced up, started trading sideways into the 10, and then we came down again. So it traded all the way almost to the 20, and then we had a drop off when it hit the 34. Boop. So that's what I'm expecting on the upside to take place. We've got to navigate through. So we're going to trend up, navigate through the 100. But if news comes, it's going to look like this, straight up. So if news comes, we may get one little dip, and then we'll go way up here. It could go 100 pips in 30 seconds to 5 minutes, 100 to 200 pips on news that will drive this the other way. Now, we'll keep a tight stop loss in case it comes down on us and drops the bottom out of it. But that's what we're looking at. So we pull back a little bit. We're only at 96, 93. I said if it came down to 70, way down here, which I doubt, comes down here, I'm going to double down. All right, so breakaway candle out of all of this, trading sideways. It wants to catch up and get these moving average start coming around under it. You've got the 5, 10, and the 20 under here, and the 34. We finally navigated through it. So once we trade sideways, when that's 45 minutes before that happens. So we're already in the Bollinger. So that's probably why we get a little bit of a pullback on this, maybe. If not, we hold in this level for 45 minutes and then pop, or we could pop, trade sideways, and pop again. Just a matter of letting it play itself out. And I got 15 minutes, so I got to get my kids up. Just looking at what you guys are saying here. All right. So GCAD, take profit. With news, man, you gotta roll with it. There's no telling. Could be 1.73, could be, I'm sorry, 1.74, could be 1.7450. You just got to let that thing do its thing, go crazy, and move your stop loss up. Yeah. So Euro NZD, I did that one. And I said that got stopped out overnight, but it still looks good to go up. So it's still in a good setup, 71.03. It came all the way down to 70.70, but it's picking back up, showing strength. So it's got to break up through. So it's a good buy, really and truly. But I don't need to play out. I've got XU. I've already got two pairs, GCAD and XU. So I think we're good. I'm good. I don't need to add a third. I'll roll with what I got. All right. So that should be enough to hold you guys off for a little while. I've got to go and take care of family business and get these kids to school early so that I can be sitting at my desk when that news hits at 7:30. Otherwise, I'll be on the road and I'll be like, what's it doing? Well, I got my phone with me. I actually take my laptop. It's only about maybe a pound, a very lightweight laptop. Use my mobile hotspot if I need to. But with your mobile hotspot, it's not as good. The speed is not as good as a LAN connection. All right, Sharda. I see you, appreciate that, Thank you for the kind word, my friend. Irie. I'll come visit Trinidad one day, Break off some, well, eat ackee and saltfish. That's Jamaican. Oh, man. On a no say, I am Caribbean too. I'm from the Cayman Islands, so I actually grew up in the Caribbean near Jamaica. So that's where I learned to speak Jamaican patois. I can talk like them and you would never know that me not come from Jamaica. So when people talk to me on the phone and they hear me, I start talking patois first and then they meet me. They look at me like, no, this can't be the guy I'm expecting. They're looking for somebody else because I don't look like somebody could speak Jamaican patois. Yes, man. All right, let's see. Jump over here, GCAD. Pull back just a little bit. All right, so it's getting under. So that big pop back up, and then it getting under the 5-period moving average. So we may get a little more of a pullback. May come back to 70. If it does, I'm going to double down again. So I'm going to set my all right, set that ready just in case. Go to GCAD. All right. So that'll be good for me. If it comes down here, I'm going to get back in. I'm not going to do a buy limit, because if it comes way down here, it'd be very odd. But if it does, then I'm going to get in way down there. All right. So we're just going to wait. I think the strength is definitely to the upside on GCAD, that it should rally up. It's pulling back a little bit because of your hour time frame, letting the moving averages catch up to it. It's got to navigate through. But again, if it pulls all the way back, I'm going to double down as far down as 172.60. I don't think it'll come down to 172.40. That's 48 pips. That'd be crazy. The strength is already to the upside. So it could come down as low as 72.60 as I'm looking at it. If it does, it may not. All right. Take profit on gold, 1280. 1280. Didar. That's what I think gold is going to go to. And my margin usage, so I got 5,300 tied up on gold on that. Yeah. 12 to the 80. All right, guys. With that being said, I wish y'all a good day. I'll be back to check in a little bit later. I just have to go and sort out, get my kids ready. But y'all have a blessed day, and we'll be talking to you soon.